Did someone else use your social security number to file taxes and now you can't e-file? Are you a victim or think you might be a victim of identity theft? Did you get a 1099 that makes absolutely no sense? Well, I'm Robert and I'm a tax attorney, and we are going to go over how to claim identity theft with IRS Form 14039. First, I should mention that for a lot of identity theft cases where a tax return is falsely filed, you don't need to file a Form 14039. And that's because the IRS has various verification systems that sometimes will catch it before you do. They might send you a letter 5017C that'll ask you to verify your identity online. They might send you a letter 4883C asking you to verify your identity over the phone. And if you're a victim of a data breach, you might get a letter 5747C and be asked to verify your identity in person. Okay, here we go. We're starting to fill out the form. Section A, you want to check all the boxes that apply. Most people are probably filling it out for themselves and going to check box 1. A lot of people will be checking box 2, and they're doing it because they're filing this form in response to a notice or letter received from the IRS. And you want to get the notice or letter number on the letter. So for example, if it's a CP2000 letter, put CP2000. You're typically going to be able to find that in the top right corner of the letter. It's going to say the letter or notice type, and that's what you're going to put right here in this section. If you're submitting it on behalf of someone else, you would be checking box 3 or box 4. Box 3 is if it's your dependent child or dependent relative. Box 4, if it's for somebody else. And down in section E, you're going to clarify some more information on that. Here's an example for number 2. You don't know if your information was used to file taxes, but you are a victim of identity theft. You would provide an explanation in this box, and in this explanation we did someone that received a false 1099-G. And I wrote, I received a 1099-G for tax year 2020, but I did not in fact receive any gambling winnings for 2020. So you basically just want to explain what happened in this box right here. Okay, so now we're on to section C, name and contact information of identity theft victim. If you're filling it out for yourself, you're going to put your own information, and if you're filling it out for somebody else, you're going to put their information. Put the last name, first name, middle initial, taxpayer identification number, basically your social security number for most people, current mailing address, including the city, the state, the zip code, the tax year you experienced identity theft, or tax years if it's more than one. Enter those in these boxes. If not sure, you write in unknown. The last year you filed the tax return, address used on the last filed tax return, the city, the state, the zip, names used on last filed tax return if it's different than the current name being used. Maybe you got married or your name changed. Telephone number with area code, home and cell if you got both, and the best time to call. Section D, penalty of perjury statement and signature. You are signing and dating under penalty of perjury that the information is true, correct, complete, and made in good faith. All right, section E. Now, you're only going to fill out this section if you're doing it for someone else. It's pretty self-explanatory. You select one of the numbers 1 through 5, include the information they're asking for. Also notice that on some parts of it, like on number 3 and number 4, and down here number 5, you can't actually check them in on a regular PDF form filler. So you might need a PDF editor to fill that out, but it's also totally fine to just fill it out on a computer as much as you can and then print it out and check these boxes off manually and just write in manually with a pen the information you need to write in. And also, as a representative, make sure to put your information in this bottom section here also. Okay, instructions for submitting this form. You have the option to submit by mail or submit by fax, depending on what type of issue you have. If you have an issue where you cannot file your tax return electronically, you're going to want to mail your tax return and include this form on the back of it. And make sure you send that by certified mail with return receipt. That's USPS Certified Mail with return receipt. And I recommend, if it's something where you can fax it, you're probably better off faxing it. Also, I should add, if you are faxing any of the documentation, make sure to save a copy of the fax cover page. If it's something where you got a notice, you can include a copy of that notice with your submission. And if you've already submitted your paper tax return, submit this form to where you normally file your tax return. For all other issues, you can either mail to this Fresno office or you can fax it in this number here, and we'll have those listed below just to make it easier. All right, so that's it for the form. What is also recommended for most cases is to go ahead and fill out the identity theft form online at identitytheft.gov, and we'll have a link to that below as well. If you got other problems with taxes and you need help, give us a call at 888-515-4TAX. That's 888-515-4829. Or you can go to trp.tax/start, and that'll be linked below. If you're doing your case on your own, check out our free tax help guide at trp.tax/taxhelp. Thanks for watching and have a great week.